Hey guys, today is May 25th, which is Memorial Day, 2020. And I'm sorry about the lighting. I can't seem to get the good lighting here, and I'm making cat food right now to feed all my outside kitties. I've got a lot of them. And I decided to just get real with you guys. When I first started making these videos, and by the way, sorry if you hear any meowing over there. Um, when I first started making these videos, my intention was really to basically help people. That's what my intention was. I didn't care about making money. I didn't care about, I guess, how many subscribers or whatever I would get. I only cared about how my videos would help other people in their lives, how it would help improve your life, how you guys would be able to cope better with emotions on a day-to-day basis. The topics that I had in my videos for my ideas we're going to be supporting those and telling my story about living with fibromyalgia, chronic pain, and a chronic sleep disorder. I'm 51 years old. I'll be 52 in July. And I've been suffering with fibromyalgia and a sleep disorder since I was very young. It started around like 11, 12 years old. And I've got a lot to share. That was the intention, was to share those stories. But I'm a huge animal lover. I have a lot of experience being in relationships with covert and overt narcissists. And I wanted to share my stories with that. I have made some videos about that. And if you think about it, a lot of people might say, I was afraid that was going to happen. I need to turn off my media. Give me a second. Just realized I can't, because if I go to my settings key, it'll stop this video, which means that I'm going to have to put the videos together and I'm going to have to edit them, and I don't want to edit anything right now. Anyway, a lot of people that are therapists and other people that know a lot about narcissistic personality disorder will say that certain people attract narcissists, and it's because those people that attract the narcissists need counseling, or they have low self-esteem, or they don't love themselves enough. That is true, okay? So part of my videos are to help people learn self-love, which is something I didn't start learning until I was in my late 40s, unbeknownst to me. I mean, did I ever think about the fact that I didn't love myself? No, it's not usually something you think about out loud or even really consciously. But what I want to say, though, is that covert narcissists, you don't know that you're dating one, because if you're not familiar with what a covert narcissist is, then how are you going to know you're dating one when no one's ever taught you what one was, right? So I'm here to teach you guys what one was, and or what one is and was in my life, and how you can avoid getting involved with one. But this video tonight is not about that stuff. This video tonight is about what I went through today, which has to do with some animals that I grew emotionally attached to, that I rescued, and that I had to give up today, and I didn't want to give up. But this is about giving up things for the benefit of someone else, another living soul, okay? So when a person gives up a baby, okay, or gives up a relationship that they break up with, okay? I had to pause that. I had an interruption. I think I was saying, so if you end a relationship for the better good of yourself, here's the thing, guys. When you give up someone or something, okay? When I say something, I mean another living soul. Give me a second. So a something can be a cat, a kitten, a dog, a horse. I don't consider those things things. I consider them beings, living beings, okay? But when you give up a child, if you give up a child, if you give up a relationship, if you give up a pet, the reason why most people give up things, I shouldn't say most people. How do I word this? Let's word this properly. Okay, I'm going to talk about me. I'll say, because it's all about me. I'm just kidding. These videos are actually all about you. They're about me helping you. The reason I would give up a pet, the only reason I would give up a pet, would be that because I want that pet or that animal that I rescued to have a better life than I could give to it. Okay, so here's a perfect example. before I go with the example, let me say this also. There are narcissistic people out there that give up relationships, okay, and give up people in their lives because they want something better for themselves, or they think they're getting something better because they're selfish. And narcissists, not to get too off track here, but narcissists give up relationships because they want another relationship that they think is better, and they give up things very quickly. Narcissists usually only last in a relationship a few months. Now, if that was a bug blooper, if a narcissist stays in a long-term relationship, I'm going to tell you this: narcissists are incapable of loving other people. They're incapable. They can only love, well, actually it's ironic. People think narcissists love themselves, but it's the opposite. They don't love themselves. They have no self-love. So if you have no self-love and you have no ability to love yourself, that means you can't love another person. You have to wholeheartedly love yourself before you can love another. Meaning, you have to appreciate and respect yourself and know yourself, know what you're capable of, know how you are able to treat people. Hopefully know that you can treat yourself with love. And when you're able to do that, then you're able to treat other people with kindness and love and respect. Once you gain that for yourself, okay? There. That's pretty well said, I think. However, here's the kicker. Narcissists sometimes look like they are in long-term relationships, okay? Meaning that a narcissist could say, well, I've been married for 20 years, or I've been with this person for 20 years, 30 years. That doesn't mean that the narcissist was actually staying loyally in the relationship, because narcissists constantly lie and use and cheat and abuse. And basically, if you go read the 10 Commandments, narcissists basically break every single one of them. Which, by the way, on a side note, I have a funny little aside for you, right? So this is, okay, it's going to be a Trump joke, or not necessarily a joke, something ironic, okay? The ironic thing, Trump wanted and demanded, he says he's going to go above and beyond all laws of this and that and the other thing so that he can get houses of worship back in action with the COVID-19 crisis, okay? So he believes that houses of worship should be open. Temples, synagogues, mosques, churches, they should all be open, and he's the say-so. He's the final say-so in all this, right? Here's the kicker. Here's a guy who's saying that mosques and synagogues and churches should all be open, right? But he's the guy that's broken every single commandment there is. Go read the 10 Commandments and you tell me that Trump hasn't broken every single one of them. So this guy should have zero say-so when it comes to who's going to be the voice of churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples to be open. We couldn't have picked a finer gentleman to be living in our White House. There's no finer gentleman. America, you who voted for him, brought a narcissist into our country, into our White House. You know, this isn't even political, guys. It doesn't matter whether I'm Republican, whether I'm Democrat, whether I'm independent. It doesn't matter. The fact is that Trump is an overt narcissist. You can't argue with that. Look up the definition of an overt narcissist, and it says Donald Trump. That has nothing to do with politics. I don't care what party you're in. I don't even need to tell you which party I'm in, but I will tell you I'm an independent. I probably lean more to the left because I'm very open-minded and I'm very inclusive, and I believe we're all created equal. I don't judge people. I don't care whether you're gay, straight, black, white, transsexual. I don't care. You are a human being. If you are able to speak, listen, learn, grow as a soul, even people that cannot speak, even people that cannot hear or cannot see, those are all living beings, living souls that are capable of growth. We all learn in different ways. Not everybody can hear, not everybody can see, not everybody can walk, not everybody can talk, right? We take these things for granted. But guess what? If you're here on this earth and you're a living being, you have the capacity to learn. You're going to learn in your own way, on your own time, with your own gifts, and you're going to grow on your own time and learn new things, which is why we're all here. It is why we're all here, is to grow, which is why I created my YouTube channel. That's why. So in order to help you guys, I wanted to share with you, I know I went off on a tangent, which I do, and you guys can make jokes about it. I probably have undiagnosed ADD along with the non-24 and the fibromyalgia and the possible Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I've talked about. Lots of topics, but tonight is about, why do I look so bad? Well, number one, because I'm going to be 52 and I probably need a facelift. Definitely Botox. But the other reason is that because of my sleep disorder, I've been up for about 48 hours. And on top of all that, because I was up for so long, I had a really good cry today because I was awake for so long, but mainly because I gave up 3 adorable, beautiful little baby kittens that I rescued 2 weeks ago and that I was raising and that I was curing from all kinds of infection. And they grew on me so much. I mean, these babies were just delicious. 3 little Siamese, 2 mainly Siamese, and 1 looked like whiter. 1 was like more white. It's going to be white with maybe a little tad of brownish in there, but mainly white. Such a story about how I got these guys, but I rescued them. There were originally 5 kittens. I'm going to put up another YouTube channel showing the kitten while I'm telling the story about the kitten. But I was very distracted that day telling the story about how I rescued the kittens because I was holding the kittens while I was talking, and I was feeding them, and I was helping them go pee-pee and poopy and doing all these things that distracted me. I couldn't get the conversation straight in my brain, right? Or I couldn't get the facts of the rescue straight. So I will tell you now real quick. But long story short, a very, very, very pregnant cat mom showed up on my patio. I feed lots of cats in my neighborhood, about 15 to 20. I am mostly responsible. I trap, spay, neuter them. Okay, I don't do the surgeries myself, of course, but I bring them in to be spayed and neutered so that no babies are born. But we've had lots of kittens be born before I did the trapping. Now I am behind in, well, let's put it this way. If you have 20 cats and you trap 18 cats, you'd be like, yay, I trapped 18 cats. Look what I did, right? What if the last 2 out of the 20, what if one's a male and one's a female and they get together, I don't know, 4 times and mate? You got yourself 4 litters, honey. Then they start multiplying again, and that's basically what happened over here. So I've got about probably a total of 8 to 10 cats I need to neuter and spay. Tell my neighbors. My neighbors hate me. Something's going on over there with a cat, I'm sure. Be careful, you guys. I'm trying to mix up food, and it's really hard because I want to pay attention to you. I want to hold on one second. All right. I've had the video paused now for 10 minutes. You guys didn't know that, and I have no idea how to edit this stuff together. So that's why I decided to pause it and come back. Because otherwise I got to splice together videos, and I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'll learn eventually. Anyway, what was I saying? So this cat that I wasn't normally feeding, who was gorgeous, beautiful, all white cat, showed up in my backyard, 150% pregnant, ready to drop those babies any day, belly down to the ground. And I thought, well, if I can trap her, this lady that I know who preps cats and kittens to be adopted and sent away to New Hampshire to a wonderful place you guys can check out if you're up in the Midwest area, or New England area is where they're located. I think it's New Hampshire, somewhere in New England. It's called Darbster Kitty. And they also have Darbster Doggy. I will spell it for you. D as in dog, A as in apple, R as in run, B as in boy, S as in snake, T as in T, E R as in run. Darbster. Did I say it right? DARBSTER. Kitty.com. And then they have DarbsterDoggy.com. You guys can find them on that website, or they're also on Facebook, and they're also on Instagram. So you could do a search for Darbster Doggy and Darbster Kitty on both. And I think there's a little video on YouTube about them and about what that whole thing is all about. And, I'm not going to go into it now, but it's wonderful. People pay $160, I think, for a kitten. And that is because up in the New England states, as you guys know, it's freezing up there. It gets very cold, and they only have one kitten season. Kittens only mate when it's warm outside. I'm in Miami, Florida, so kittens are born all around the clock. Doesn't matter what month, because it's pretty much hot here all the time, which that's not necessarily true. December and January get a little chilly, but our chilly is like, the coldest it's gotten is 30 degrees, and that only lasts a day or two. Generally, our winter times are like in the 40s, I guess, and it lasts a few weeks. I like the spring and the fall when it's like in the 60s and like 50s and 60s. It's nice, but you can't swim in those months because the pool gets too cold, because most people don't have a heated pool here. We don't usually need it. Anyway, I'm going off. You guys see? You see the undiagnosed attention deficit disorder? That's what I should make one of my videos about. And you guys can count how many times I trail off on another subject. But here's the thing. I always come back to the main subject at hand, which is now about this cat and the kittens I gave up. Okay, here we go. So Cat shows up fully pregnant. I wanted to trap her so I could give her to this lady who preps cats and kittens for Darbster, to go away to Darbster, get adopted. But I couldn't trap her. Wasn't very successful at it. It's very hard for me to trap cats here because I would say the majority of them have already been spayed and neutered. And by the way, if you guys don't know how this works, when it's a cat that is like an outside feral cat, the universal sign to show that the cat has been spayed or neutered is a tip on their ear. Their ear has been tipped, which means if this is like, if that's the ear, right? They cut off the very, very tip of it right here. So the cat will have like a square, the top of the ear will be squared off. I can't remember if it's I think it's the left ear, but I'm not sure, because sometimes vets do the right ear. But anyway, you'll see one ear cut off. And does it hurt them? No. Not, I mean, obviously they can't tell us, but they've never, like, I've never seen a cat like clawing at it or pawing at it. They do it when the animal's under anesthesia, and then it has a little stitches. So it would probably be like if you, I guess, cut your earlobe. I don't know how much pain you'd have in your earlobe. I don't have pierced ears. Another subject. I'm going to trail off. No, don't do it, Kim. All right, so anyway, I wasn't able to trap the cat. So she had her babies in the neighbor's yard. And guess what, guys? The neighbor's yard who she chose to have her babies in is a neighbor of mine that used to be nice and is now a complete a-hole. That him and his wife are completely the worst people. Well, I don't know if they're the worst, but they're on the list. They called me an animal abuser. The person that traps, neuters, spays, feeds, saves lives, and has all these rescue animals. I'm an animal abuser. That's what they called me, because I choose to feed the neighborhood cats, so therefore they call that abusive. And I don't want to get off on another subject, but I just would like to tell you that while I was walking my dogs 3 weeks ago, the guy comes out of his house. I was coming back from a walk because I was on 30-something hours of no sleep again. I was coming back from walking my dogs, and it was super hot out, and we only walked for a short time. It was so early in the morning, and I don't like to walk them at that time because they bark at everybody under the sun. They're rescues, and I just like to walk them at times where nobody's outside. But by that time of morning, 8:30, everybody's getting up, walking, dogs are out, craziness is about to happen. So I was trying to get them home, and as I'm getting them home, this MF and his wife come out of their front door, and I'm about to say hi, because, I mean, I'm nice to them. I never really had a reason to be mean to them. And all of a sudden, instead of saying hi to me, they both started screaming at me. I was like, did they just start, like, I'm wondering if anybody's, like, listening, you know? Did these people start screaming at me just now? And guess what they're screaming at me about? Ready for this? They're screaming at me because they want to sue my father and I live with my parents. They want to sue us because, sorry about the swear word, but this is his words. They found cat shit, that's his words. They found cat shit on their patio. So they're going to sue me, and I'm an animal abuser because they found cat shit on their patio. Now, I don't want to go off on another subject, guys, but cats don't poop or pee out in the open. They're very smart animals. They bury their poop. Unless mine are, they go in the litter box. They don't always bury it. But the point is that if they're going outside in a yard, they're going to bury it because they don't want predators. They're very smart. It's something that's ingrained in them. They dig a hole, they go, and they cover it up, okay? The funny part is when I mentioned this to a friend of mine, she says to me, wow, I bet you it was iguana poop. And I was like, what? And they're like, she said the same thing happened to her. She thought it was a cat pooping on her patio, and it was an iguana because she set up a camcorder thing. Turned out it was an iguana. Here's the funny part. So days later, after this whole screaming and yelling episode, and they were going at it with me, guys. They were screaming and yelling. I was hoping that another neighbor heard this, and what I should have done, I don't know why I didn't think of this at the time. Why didn't I tell them in the middle of their screaming and yelling? You guys can try this if some random stranger starts yelling at you. This is what I've been thinking about doing. I should have said to them, are you guys finished yet? Because I got some good footage already. This is going on YouTube. I hope you don't mind. I've got a channel going and people would love to see this. I'll get a lot of subscribers. But of course, I didn't think about that in the moment. But if you ever have anyone screaming and yelling at you and you can feel your adrenaline going up, your anxiety levels are going up, the hormones are going crazy, because I got a massive headache. It felt like because I have pain all over my body, guys. I have trigger points. So when I get upset, when people with fibromyalgia or chronic pain, migraines, and all this stuff that I suffer from get stressed out by any situation, someone screaming at you, God forbid a car accident, any of this stuff, you are going to feel your adrenaline surge, right? So if you don't want to yell back, I'm telling you, cut the tension with comedy and just stand there, even though your heart is racing and you want to scream back and you're in that mode where you want to defend yourself. Try to come into mental control and literally just say, are you guys done yet? Because I already got plenty of footage. And they're going to be like, what? Got a lot of footage for YouTube. I thought that's why you were putting on the act here. And then just say, I got enough footage, and then walk away and see what happens. I think it would be great, right? Anyway, I didn't think about that in the moment, so I didn't do that. So what had happened, guys? I walked home, which was like literally these people were almost on my freaking property because they lived behind me. They were like following me while I'm trying to get home. And my dogs were so tired and freaked out that I don't even think they knew what to do. They needed water so bad. And these people are infringing on their time and my time. And I got home, guys, and I was shaking so bad with so much adrenaline that I had to take a pill that I haven't taken in ages. I don't even know what it's called. Something for panic attacks, okay? And I had to literally double the pills. And it took me hours to come down from this. It was awful. I mean, the guy was screaming and yelling about cat shit and screaming and yelling that he's going to sue the shit out of me. That's what he told me. He's going to sue my dad and I. Hang on. Got to turn on the fan because I'm super hot. Okay. Anyway, so here's the dealio. That cat had kittens in his yard, which was hilarious if you think about it. She like picked the person that hates cats the most and said, I think I'll just plop my babies right here. And she did. But here's the sad part. Okay, so sad part, weird part, all of this, everything about this is weird. So she had 5 babies. I didn't know this. I knew she had the babies because I was feeding her here and I noticed her belly was gone. So I knew she had them. So then you have to kind of follow where the cat is going. Like hopefully you have the mother cat there. If you're trying to track where she has her babies, you follow her with your eyes and you see after she eats, what is she going to do? Usually she's going to groom herself and get all prim and proper and, clean. And then when she's all good and relaxed and maybe has possibly taken a nap or whatever, she's going to get up and she's going to go to feed her babies if she's a good mom. So she was going along the fence and I was like, oh, she had him over there. And I already had another cat do this, so I've been in this predicament. But the other 2 cats that did this brought their babies over on their own and there was no problem. Well, the first cat that did it, 2 babies did die, ironically. So it's almost the same scenario. So I found out because my dog, I have 3 dogs. One of them is a cat killer. I'm not going to go into the situation with this. He's trained for the most part. He's not going to hurt my cats or the cats that he's familiar with. Oh, I have 7 of my own cats, by the way, that I rescued all when they were babies. And then I feed like 15 to 20 that are only outside. My cats do go outside, but for very little periods of time. They like to be in. They'll go out a little bit, come back in. These cats are always out and sometimes come into my kitchen area at night. I let them come in, especially if it's like raining or whatever. And then they walk in and out of the kitchen, but they don't stay inside. All right, so this happened before. So my dog tracked, he can smell kittens. Oh my God, this dog has a schnoz on him that he will tell you where the cats are. I don't care if they're a mile away, he will tell you. He was walking along the fence while I'm taking him out to pee, and he sticks his nose under the fence. It's like under there. And I'm like, oh, the cats are under there, right? So it turns out he led me straight to them. The thing is that he can't, well, obviously he's not going to jump the fence with me holding the leash, and I would never trust him to do a walk in the yard without a leash, because he will kill a cat. If given the chance, he will do it. So he had his nose like literally stuck under there, and like he glues his nose under there. It's like super glues there. You can't get him to budge. So as soon as he does that, I know there's cats under there and babies. He smells those babies, man. So I marked the fence with some sticks and some leaves and all that stuff, and I'm like, this is the spot I'm going to focus on because I know they're back there. And so that's what I did, day and night, looking back there, and lo and behold, I see a little pile of babies. I can't tell if there's 3, 4, 5. I can't tell. I couldn't see all the faces. I just saw, they're on. She basically puts them all together and they're like in a little pile. And if one is sleeping and one's up, you don't know, you can't see all the faces. I'm looking through a fence. So I'm watching this for several days, and I'm watching to make sure that the mom is going to feed the babies. That's the main thing, because otherwise I need to get them out of there, right? So I see her back and forth, which is making me happy because the babies are getting nutrition and she's going to clean them and they'll survive. They're going to probably have bugs on them and fleas and all this, but they will get nutrition and they'll survive enough for me to get back there and get them eventually. So I'm watching them for a period of weeks. And then I notice, out of the blue, she has now separated 2 babies because my dog led me to those 2. They were in another area. And so I'm seeing the 2 babies by themselves, and I don't see her. And I'm like, well, I know there was a pile of babies. There wasn't 2. It was more than 2. So my brain is going, great, she separated these 2. Sorry, my dad had walked in, and I was right in the middle of talking. Okay, so anyway, she had separated those 2. And I was in a panic. I was like, oh my God. And they were so tiny. And automatically I'm like, those are the runts. She separated the runts of the litter, because mother cats do this when they feel that a baby is sick or it's going to die. It's terrible. Isn't that awful? They leave it. That's narcissistic right there. My baby's going to die. I think I'll just let it die. Terrible. It's so sad. You guys can look that up. Like, how does that work? I think tigers and lions and all that, like any in the cat family, and dogs might do that too. I don't even know. You could Google, why does a cat mother leave her kittens? Or why do tigers and lions do that too? Other animals, I don't know. I don't know if they do. I just know that cats do. So anyway, I was really upset. And I was like, and so I watched them. I did not, at this point, by the way, I didn't know where the other 2 or 3 kittens went. I didn't know if she was even feeding them. I'm thinking, well, who knows? Maybe she separated them all. Maybe she's just like, I don't know, doesn't want to deal with them. And, who knows? But I knew for sure she wasn't feeding the 2 that I was looking at. And the other ones disappeared. So I was praying that she was going to come back and feed those 2 and the other ones that she separated. But I watched these 2 babies, and one day went by. It was like the second day was going by, and my heart, all I could think about was, I need to freaking get in there and get those kittens before they die. And I was really upset. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? These neighbors were awful to me. How am I going to get back there and do this? Right? By the way, if this video cuts off, I'm going to have to do a part 2. I've already made this 29 minutes. It's really long. I'll see if I can finish this by 33 minutes. If I can, under 35. Okay. So anyway, I was just beside myself, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to talk to these neighbors. They were just bullying me. They were awful. They were mean. They were terrible. How am I going to do this? So I was like, I got to bite the bullet, because 2 lives are at stake right now, basically. So I'm like, who cares if they yell at me? I'll call the police. Harassed me. They were awful to me. I wasn't awful to them. I did nothing. They're blaming me for cat shit on their patio and telling me they're going to sue me. If that's not like harassment in the middle of my day where I'm, minding my own business, that's harassment. I didn't do anything to them. They should feel bad. So, but they don't because they're narcissists. So that's another story. Anyway, I called them. I only had their landline at the time. I turned out later that my father had their cell phone number, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was just calling their landline, left a message, and yes, people still have landlines. We have ours, and I like it, and I'm sticking to that story. Anyway, I left messages, and I told them these babies are going to die. I also added into my message, okay, that I'm really sorry that I didn't say I was sorry. I said, I'm really sorry that you yelled at me the way you did the other day, because things don't need to be handled like that. And cats don't, take a poop out in the open. They cover up their poop. But this is something we could have discussed and you didn't have to scream at me. So on a side note, I said, there's 2 kittens that are in under your fence in the bushes that are about to die. And I did a little white lie, and I told them that I had trapped the mother cat. Therefore, because I didn't want them to think the cat just dropped him there and that's it. I said, I have the mother cat. I trapped her, and I'm not letting her out of the trap, which means the babies are going to die in your yard, and I need to get in there to get them. I wanted them to be thinking, let's help her. No, they didn't even call me back. They didn't call me back. Now, just to stay on their side for a second, they may have not heard the message, but I doubt they didn't hear the message. I'm pretty sure they heard it, because we check our home. I mean, if you have a landline, why do you have a landline if you don't check your messages? We don't check it a lot, but at least once every couple of days. So, I mean, a whole week, 2 weeks went by since then. They've never even called me, okay? They could have called. They could have apologized for screaming at me, and they could have called to care about 2 little lives that were basically about to be lost in their yard, and they didn't care. They didn't call. They didn't care. So guess what, guys? Like a miracle from heavens above, their gardeners showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning after it had been raining all night. Oh no, that was for the other 3. Okay, this one. It was raining a little bit. But anyway, the gardeners showed up. And I, like a bat out of hell, ran out the door, ran over there. In Miami, everybody speaks Spanish. I don't. I'm a gringa. I speak some Spanish. I know I look Puerto Rican. I'm not. I'm a American Jew, but not religious. That's a whole nother story. Here we go again. Anyway, went over there, spoke my best Spanish. I'm like, necesita ayuda ahora. You guys know what that means? I need help now. I go, dos gatos in the bushes, pequeña. You guys speak Spanish? Was that pretty good? Dos gatos pequeña. I don't know how to say kittens. I just said 2 cats, tiny, in the bushes. Necesita ahora. I need to get. That's not Spanish. I need to get ahora, now. Necesita ayuda, now. The cats need help. I wasn't laughing at the time like I am now. My heart was like, this. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And I was like, can you help me? And he's like, oh. Like, he didn't want to get in trouble. And I'm like, I live here. Yo vivo here, aquí. And he's like, you do? And I'm like, sí. I go, this guy no le gusta gatos. And my Spanish is pretty good. The dog doesn't really agree. He just moaned over there. He's like, girl, you're just talking a mile a minute when we could be walking. That's what he's thinking. My dog's a little depressed because I've been really focused on the cats. I'm sorry, George. I'll show you George in a minute. Because I have the camera thing set up here. I'll show you in a minute. I'll do a video with George in it next time. How about that? Anyway, girl, I went in there and I grabbed those little babies right out of the bushes. Guys, I shouldn't say girl. I should say boy. Girls and boys, transsexuals, whatever the heck you are, you're all included in the audience. I got those kittens, but here's the sad part, guys. It's really sad. They only lived 5 days, and I don't know if it was something I did wrong. Now, there's something, just to educate you, there's something called fading, F-A-D-I-N-G, like you're fading, like I should be doing now because I've been up for 48 hours, but I'm wide awake, as you can see. Fading kitten syndrome, fading kitten syndrome. Read it. Read about it. They die. It's usually of anemia. Their bodies just are not healthy enough to stay alive, okay? And this is what happened, and it was so sad. I cried so hard. I was so upset. So upset. I was feeding them, and the thing is, a lot of people do feed kittens goat milk. You do not want to feed them cow milk. If all you have is lactate milk, you could do a little bit of that, but not for babies. Maybe. There's no lactose, so I don't know. You could read up on it. I don't think it's great for them. They can't digest lactose at all, which is milk sugar. So if you're giving them Lactaid, which has the milk sugar removed, it's possible they could digest it, but it's just not good for them. The next best thing is goat milk, but the best thing would probably be to do kitten replacer. Okay, so I use a kitten milk powder replacement. Pet AG, I think it is. They have Pet Lac, Pet AG. I've used both. Oh, by the way, if you guys, side note, if you guys are rescuing kittens, you can buy the Pet Lac powdered. This is way better, the powdered one, because it lasts forever. Once you open up, here's a little idea for you. I didn't want to go off on a tangent with this, but little idea. Let's say you buy the kitten powder. You can just make it and keep the can of powder in your freezer. It'll last a long time. If all you can find in the stores is the one that's already the liquid in the can, you can save those cans if you don't finish them. You can like pour them out. And this is my idea. No one told me this. A DIY for you. Pour them out in your in an ice cube tray and freeze them into cubes. And then once they're frozen, pop them out in a baggie. Put them all in there and label them. And there you've got 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk in every cube. And then when you're ready to use them, just pop them in the microwave for a few minutes. Or not a few minutes, probably a minute. Until it just, until it's warm. You don't want to give hot until it's warm. So that's an idea for you to extend the life of the kitten milk. Because if you have an open can and you don't use it, just throwing that money down the drain. And talking about money, side note, on the subject still, you can get way better prices on PetSmart.com. So if you go into the store, a quick example, the Pet Lac powdered kitten milk in the can, guess how much it costs in the store? $16.99 or something. Guess how much it is on the website? $7.99. 2 snaps up, I saved a lot of money. But then I lost money on the baby bottle thing. By the way, I got, hold on, let me show you. I don't know where it is. Okay. Let me show you guys this. Ready for this? All right, so I got this. Now, on Amazon right now, they have the kitten bottle with all the extra nipples for $2.99. It's a bottle that, oh, I can't even show you. Well, here, this is the name of it. The one I got, this is called Dog MX. It's backwards, obviously. Dog MX. You can use this on puppies, kittens, other animals that have a little mouth they need to suckle. It comes with a bunch of different nipples on it. But guess what? 2 of the kittens chewed off the nipple. I mean, they had, this is the thing, these babies have teeth now because they're like 6 weeks old. Hang on 1 second. They have teeth, but they don't want to eat out of a dish. They don't even want to drink milk out of a dish. They're like, they don't want it, they want the bottle. One of them out of the 3, oh, I jumped stories. Okay, so quick. Obviously, I did not quit at 33 minutes, so it's going to go on until it cuts off, I guess. Maybe 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Sorry, you guys, didn't want to keep it this long. I planned to make a 10-minute video. This is why I don't make very often videos, because I have stories to tell and emotions to share and ways to help you and feelings and things and stories. And if I don't share it all, it feels like I'm cutting it short. So I'll put this video out, and then there won't be another one for like weeks. You'll see that. Because it's like I just talked myself into like, too much. It's too much. I don't know how people do these videos like every other day. I don't know. They probably smoke crack. Because I mean, I'm on 48 hours of no sleep and I feel hyped up right now because my adrenaline's kicking in. Also, I took a pain medicine because my back is killing me and it gives me energy. Didn't do it for the energy. I did it to keep me out of pain, but now I'm wired. All right, so go to PetSmart.com to get your kitten and doggy and all that kind of stuff. Get the price on the website and then show them at the counter at the store and you'll get the website price, which is usually cheaper. What I was going to tell you, there was something else I was going to tell you. I just lost my train of thought. Well, damn, the ADD is kicking in, girl. I don't know what it was, but I look like hell. More ADD for you. If I don't smile, I look like super tired. Look awful. Gotta keep smiling. Hold on 1 second, okay? I'm gonna try to remember what it was. Give me a second. I remembered. Okay, the kittens have teeth. They have teeth, which most people would say, oh, if they have teeth, they should be eating hard food. Not so true. They didn't want to eat out of a dish. And I even took the hard food, which someone told me to do, which I'm laughing. I'm like, they're like, oh, they should be eating hard food. I'm like, they're not even drinking milk out of a, always when I'm making a video. They're not even drinking milk out of a dish. They're not going to eat hard food out of a dish. They're not going to eat anything out of a dish. Only one of them ate out of the dish, which I was so proud of her. I think it was a girl. But I'm not talking about the two that I rescued, though. Those guys, okay, so they died after 5 days. They died in their sleep. You guys can look up fading kitten syndrome. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because it's the only thing that I can tolerate, not making me feel like I did something horribly wrong to kill them, meaning didn't feed them enough, or maybe the milk wasn't coming through the bottle and they became anemic, because I later found out the milk wasn't coming out of the nipple of the damn bottles that I bought because I was supposed to poke a harder hole in there or something. But I didn't know that at the time, because if you have a kitten that's very lethargic from not having eaten, they're not going to be like, you know how like babies scream and cry when they're hungry, and a healthy kitten will meow a lot when it's hungry. A sick, tired, anemic kitten is not going to have an appetite. Once the anemia kicks in, they don't want to eat. So you might want to feed them, but they're not going to care. They're not going to have appetite. And I know all about anemia in animals because my dog almost died of hemolytic anemia, which will be another topic we can discuss. So you see, my YouTube videos can be to help you guys with things, to learn about medical things with your animals that I've been through. So I can give you advice, and I can support you, and I can be there for you so that you don't have to feel alone like I did when I was going through all this crap. Oh my God, hold on. It was a cat fight in my house. I don't know who's starting it. I really don't. I have 7 cats, but I think I know who's starting it. Guys, Ivy, there's 2 in here that should not be in here right now. Hold on. All right, let's wrap this up because the cats, I gotta go feed. I have cats on my patio, cats in the front. Not a ton, there's only a few, but they're separated on, you know. Anyway, and I've got to feed one of my, there's so many to feed. And then I'm getting hungry again. I ate enough today for 5 people. Here comes another one. I can't turn the camera around because it's like set up. I don't want to start moving it around right now because the lighting's going to be funky. And then, okay, here comes, I really want to record this cat for you because he's so gorgeous. Let me see if he'll let me pick him up. Come here, honey. This is look at him, you guys. Look at this. He's going to bite me. Don't bite me. This is Baby. I found him when he was a little baby. All right, here, I'm going to give you cookies. Hold on, guys. Okay. Hold on, I got to pause it again. Sorry. Okay, I got to wrap this up. I got cats to feed. And I got one over there waiting to eat too, my little Yoda. Yoda will not let me lift her up. Next video, I'll show you guys my cats. Like, I'll move the camera around. But right now, I don't want to because I'm trying to fix the food. Okay, so anyway. Those cats died, the 2, in their sleep. I was heartbroken. And then I'm like, I got to find the other ones. I don't know how many there are, 2, 3, whatever. Well, good old George, who I will show you in my next video. George put his nose under the fence again, and he located the 3. 3 snaps up. He located them. Guess what, guys? I pondered, I stressed, I cried, I prayed for a damn, I don't even know how many days. After I found them, it maybe was another 3, 4 days, and I'm watching, and I knew the mom was feeding them, but she was not there with them often. And then all of a sudden, torrential rain came down, and they were out there all night in the rain, and I freaked out. I stayed up all night, and I was, kid you not, walking out to my backyard in the pouring rain with the umbrella, peering through the fence with a flashlight, and I see the babies. They're all piled up together, soaking wet. Sorry, Yoda, I'll be right there. Yes, I have a little kitty named Yoda. I love her to death. She's got fleas, though. I got to comb her out. And she looks dirty. She's white, looking gray right now though. Doesn't look white. Okay, guys, they were soaking wet and they looked like they weighed like 6 ounces. They were like little babies and the mommy wasn't there with them. I was so upset all night long. Oh my God, I couldn't relax. I'm like, they're going to die. They're going to die too. They're going to die of hypothermia. They're going to get sick. They're going to get respiratory infection. The mother's not even there to shield them. So guess what? I don't know. Maybe God is helping me. I don't know. All I know is the gardeners showed up again. It was 5 days later and it was different gardeners. It was not the same people. I think before it was like landscaping people or bush tree people. These people were cutting the lawn. And I'm like, I go over there, same thing. Necesita ayuda ahora. Gatos in the trees, in the bushes. I got to get gatos pequeños. And the guy goes, he talks to me in English. He's like, go ahead, but I'm not going to say that I let you back there. And I'm like, you speak English? No, I actually knew because it was like 3 guys working. And 2 didn't speak any English. But then what I do with people that are cutting lawns and working outside, I assume they don't speak English. I assume it. But it's not always true. Of course, messages are coming through right now, and I want to finish my day. So my cat's looking at me like I'm nuts. Yes, I am nuts. I'm talking about you guys, your species. Your species rule my life. They do. I love them. I love dogs, cats. I love anything with 4 legs. Oh, one of my cats has 3 legs, and I love her too. That's Yoda. Anything that has more than 2 legs, I love. How about that? All right, so what else can I say? I can't even think straight. I can't. I'm so overtired. The gardeners came again. Went over there. The guy goes, don't tell me that. Oh yeah, he spoke English. I'm not gonna tell him I let you in. And he's like, the gate is open. Go ahead if you want. He's like, it's up to you. And I thought, again, what are they gonna do, these neighbors, if they find me on their property? And I'm like, if they yell at me, who the hell cares? I'm saving 3 1-pound or less kittens. I'm getting them out of there. I don't give a shit if this guy yells at me. Meanwhile, my hands are like trembling. I'm like, and I don't even know if I'm gonna find them once I get in there, because remember, I'm looking where they are from my perspective from the fence. Once I go back there, I gotta know exactly where I'm supposed to go. I think I had marked the fence with something, like I threw something over the fence or whatever, but guys, I got them, and they were soaking wet and crying and cold and so freezing, and they had fleas all over them, and oh God, my heart was just like, I brought them in and my hands were like, my heart was racing, my hands were trembling. I'm like, I gotta wash them, I gotta warm them, I gotta feed them. I don't think I have kitten milk, I don't know what I'm gonna do, blah blah blah. I gave them all little baths in the sink. I got them on heating pads. I warmed them up. I fed them. My heart was so full. And you guys, I took care of them for 2 weeks, and they got bigger and they got healthier. And I cleared up their little eye infections with homeopathic medicine. Homeopathic, which I will tell you the names of that stuff in my next video if you want to know, or I can put it down below. But I cleared up the eye infections. Although one of them, they didn't have really bad eye infections. It was just a teeny bit goopy. It wasn't super bad, but it did get better with the homeopathic stuff. One kitten, though, had a really stuffy nose. He did not have any discharge in his nose. He was not coughing. He was just stuffy, and he was sneezing to try to like clear his nose. And yes, it could have been an upper respiratory infection. But anyway, the end of the story is this. Today, I gave the kittens to the lady who sends the kittens to Darbster Kitty. I did not want to, but I have 7 cats. I have 3 dogs. I have cats outside and a partridge in a pear tree. I don't have any more room or money or time. I need like 5 clones of me. Make that 10. I need an income. Would be nice to feed the animals. So I can't take on 3 more kittens. And I wanted them so bad, you have no idea. So basically, you guys, 40-something hours of no sleep. I gave them up and I bawled my eyes out. I sat in my car. I went to park at the grocery store and sat there and just cried. horrible pain in the back of my head, head's gonna explode, neck pain, spine pain, hip pain, leg pain, pain in my eyes, crying, and just like, I want a farm. I want a place where I can take care of tons of animals and care for them and love them. And you know what else I would love? If anyone knows anyone who they want to set me up with, a really hot guy. Wait, hold on. Hot, intelligent, loves animals. He could be, I like younger guys. We don't want to go, I love a 30-year-old, but not going to happen, guys, okay? 30s are not going to stay with women in their 50s. They will for a night. Let's put it that way. But I would love to meet someone in their 40s. 50s are fine, 40s, 50s, not in their 60s. I'm just not going to be attracted. I mean, this would have to be an incredibly hot looking guy in their 60s who's like looking 10 to 15 years younger. Now, I'll get my Botox. I don't know if I look 51, 52 to you guys. I think I probably more look like I'm in my 40s. I don't think I'm a raging beauty. In fact, I don't think I'm good looking at all. I think I'm funny. I think sometimes I look cute when I smile. I think I need facial filler and Botox. But I also think that life is not about just looks. I think life is about passion, caring, loving, helping people grow and learn, helping animals. Life is about spreading joy, and life is about teaching and learning and growing and being and enjoying. And my friend just messaged me. I'm going to send her this video too. Anyway, guys, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And my brain is like fried because it was such a full day, but I didn't plan. By the way, I wasn't going to give the 3 kittens away. It turned out that I messaged this lady who sends the kittens to Darbster. I messaged her to please tell me the name of the best dewormer for the kittens. I wanted to use the one that she uses on her kittens when she preps them to go to Darbster, because she deworms and defleas them all. So instead of just telling me the name of the dewormer or telling me that she had some that I could buy from her, she instead said, well, how many kittens do you have, and how long have you had them, and how old are they, and da-da-da, and she wanted to know. And then she says, if you can bring them to me today, I'll take them. And it costs her money to take the kittens, you know? She has to buy medicine, she has to take them to the vet. And by the way, you guys, this same lady screamed and yelled at me also about a few weeks ago. She didn't scream and yell, but she wasn't nice. She was very tired. She was under a lot of stress. Sorry, my shoe fell off. I'm trying to, just a flip-flop, but it's driving me nuts. Wish I could pick up all the cats to show you guys. There's another pretty one. It's so cute. You want me to feed you? I want to show you guys so bad. Maybe I will. I'll do it the next time. They're always in here. Late at night, it's 11:09, and they're like around. Okay, I hope my show's recorded too. I had a couple shows I was recording. Songland, love that show. And The Baker and the Beauty. Cute, cute shows. And also there's another show called Labor of Love, reality show. You guys check that out? Labor of Love. I love it. Check it out. I'm not going to go into what it's about. You can guess the word labor. Anyway, okay, I can't think straight, but all I know is that I gave up the kittens. I didn't want to, and she said that she would take them. So I had that split second thing. I'm like, well, I'm going to need to find homes for them, and the longer I keep them, the more I'm getting attached. So I just spontaneously decided to give her the kittens today, and I don't know if it was a good idea or not. She said, oh, you know the thing that got me to actually say yes to it? She told me there was a cat mom that could nurse them. So I was like, wow, because these kittens want a nurse so bad. They want a booby in their mouth. I know what you guys are thinking. I know. Guys are like, don't we all? And all the lesbian women are like, don't we all? And the straight women are like, no, we don't. We're thinking about animals. You people can keep your brain in the gutter. Where are you? You guys, I'm getting punchy. It's getting late. I'm glad I'm laughing because I've been crying all day. Did that rhyme? I don't know, but it's time to go. That just rhymed too. I don't know, but it's time to go. And I'm getting punchy. Gotta eat your lunchy. And I'm not a rapper. My cat's over there like, what's up with you, girl? You weird. All right, I hope you guys laughed, cried, shared your emotions with me, understand why I'm here on YouTube, what I'm trying to accomplish. By the way, just to let you know, if I could get like however many subscribers you need to like make money on these channels, guess what I'd be doing with the money? Feeding homeless animals and helping them to get adopted. That's what I would do. And I also would start a matchmaking company for pets and people. I want to like make sure that that animals get the right adoption. They get the right person to adopt them. And one thing, the last thing I'm going to say before I close out this video is that during this whole pandemic thing, they were clearing shelters out in many states. Like a lot of people were adopting animals because they're home and they're bored. What happens though? Here's my fear. What happens when these people go back to work? Do they just dump the dog or the cat? Do they take the dog back to the shelter? What do they do? Because that's what happens with a lot of people. They don't think things through. They're working on the spur of the moment, and that's what I thought about. They're adopting. Not only that, guys, not only do they adopt on the spur of the moment, okay, but they have their adoption fees waived. So basically they're getting a free animal, not thinking about the fact that this animal costs money. The animal will have to eat, go to the vet, get medical care, needs grooming. There's so many things that animals cost money. So I hope if you're getting a adoption, if you're adopting an animal for free, you're not thinking this is going to be a free ride, because it costs money. It's just like having a child. You don't, one thing I will say, and I'll talk about this in my next videos, I don't believe in vaccines, period. I'm not even going to get the coronavirus vaccine. You could have to pay me to get that damn vaccine. And I don't believe in them for animals. Okay, now, if your dog or cat is always in a crowded place and around a lot of other animals, maybe then I would think about the vaccines. And the rabies one, it's a joke unless you live in the mountains. How is your dog or cat going to catch rabies? My dogs are, number one, I guess we've had some raccoons here, I guess, but raccoons and possums, one of them does not carry rabies. I'm not sure which one it is, but I will tell you this. Raccoons and possums, they don't bother with dogs. They run away. They don't want to be bothered. They're scared. So my dogs aren't going to catch rabies from a raccoon or a possum. I don't know how. I guess they could catch rabies from another unvaccinated dog that has rabies, but how would that dog then get rabies? Something to ponder. All right, guys, 57 minutes and 42 seconds and counting. I'm going to go. I should have just made it a fine hour, 160 minutes. This is the longest video I've ever made. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope, I got to make some tea. I hope you pass along my videos to other people so they can grow, laugh, learn, live, grow, laugh, learn, love life. And do something good. Pass along the love. Okay, now I'll show you George real quick. Hang on. I gotta make this happen. Okay, George, come here. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting messages. Here. Here we go. There's Georgie. By the way, you guys. Oh, that's a good picture. I rescued George. He's about to bark at the cat. Be nice. See that? Ha, ha, ha. Mr. A. Talk about ADD. Why do you want to kill a cat? Next time I'll interview George. Why does George want to kill cats? Stay tuned. In our next episode, George Schwartz will discuss why he's obsessed with cat killing. Why I'm harboring a sociopath in Miami, Florida. Have a great night, you guys. See you soon. And please like, subscribe, and pass along the information, because I want to touch the world with my videos. I want to make money. Who doesn't? I got to pay bills. I have hungry animals to feed. That's where my